This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. Now, Hino's Sport is going to debunk, but also Hino's Sport is also going to explain where Skip Bayless went right and where Skip Bayless went wrong with the Damian Lillard situation. We in Black BD mode. So Etherins and Merkins are going to get dished out all throughout this video. Let me say it again. We're in Black Beanie mode. So Etherins and Merkins are getting dished out throughout all of this video. So hear me. Hear me. Well, let's get on to it. We have to look at the cold-hearted. We have to look at the unadulterated. And we have to look at the truth-telling fashion that's associated behind it. First and foremost, let's look at the cold-hearted variation. What is the cold-hearted variation? Skip Bayless did not tell a lie about Damian Lillard. He basically said, what has Damian Lillard done significant in his basketball career? What has Dame Dolla done for us to sit here and put super in front of star? See, this is the problem with basketball heads. This is the problem with this generation variation of basketball heads. Their standard for basketball has been reduced to a brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo-headism. So let me say it again. Their standard for basketball has been reduced to a brain full of mush and a brainwashed dodo-headism. Skip Bayless is right when it comes to that. Because superstar, when you think of star, a star player in basketball was a player that did one or two variations. Either on one side of the equation, the variation was they were a great offensive player. Or on the other side of the variation, they were a great defensive player. But you call that a star player. That used to be the standard of the NBA. So Hino's Sport has to go into scientific mode. So get the notepads out and get to the damn script. I'm in Yoda mode too as well. So basically, it's time to proselytize your ass into cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cut the truth fashion. Now let's get back onto it. Let's get back to the context. Star player was a player that was great at what he was on one side of the ball. Dennis Rodman is a star player. Charles Barkley is a star player. Patrick Ewing is a star player. A player that's a star in the sense of they're a star on one side of the equation. They do what they do on one side of the equation, but they're allergic on the other side of the equation. We have to sit there and look at other players that we can add into the element. Reggie Miller, star level player. But then there's what we call superstar level player. A super in front of star is a player that plays both sides of the equation. This is a guy who is an elite two-way player. Kawhi Leonard is a superstar because he plays elite on both sides of the ball. Kevin Durant is a superstar because he plays on both sides of the ball elite. And as much as I hate to say this, but it's the truth, LeBron James is actually a superstar too. Because even though LeBron James is allergic to the defensive end for the last 8+ years, he actually does play defense on an elite level from a help defense standpoint. Let me say it again. He actually plays elite defense from an elite standpoint on a help defense. That's his highest ceiling when it comes to defense. But he can defend. So we're not going to act like he can't. He can defend when he gets his lazy ass up to do the damn job. But he can play on both sides of the ball. So we can justify why we would call him, and I want to throw it up and say it, a superstar. But he is. Anthony Davis is a superstar because he plays on both sides of the ball elite. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a superstar because he plays on both sides of the ball elite. This is what superstar is. But a Devin Booker is a star. Damian Lillard is a star basketball player. So from that instance, Skip Bayless is not wrong. The problem with NBA fans is they're so caught up on offense, they forget there's an other side of the equation. There's defense. NBA fans are so offensive oriented in their mind because their mind is all about scoring. Because see, what they don't realize is the NBA position their minds through NLP to be this way. Let me say it again. The NBA position their minds through NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to be this way, to think of basketball from an offensive-oriented standpoint, because the game changed when they let go of hand checking and made it a scoring game. So hence, NBA fans got into this scoring mindset. You see the NLP the NBA did on you? See, he knows his sport is a three-dimensional thinker. Remember, I'm not a regular cat, nor do I think regular, nor do I reside in regular realms. Let me say it again. He knows his sport is a three-dimensional thinker. I'm not a regular cat, nor do I think regular, nor do I reside in regular realms. So when I'm giving you guys special, y'all gonna be get special. Let me say it again. When I'm giving you guys the He Knows His Sport special, sauce, y'all gonna get special. That's what I'm sprinkling on y'all asses. The He Knows the Sport special sauce. So rehear me. Well, a superstar, based on its truest and its most properest standard, is a guy that plays elite on both sides of basketball. Damian Lillard has proven to you guys he's allergic on the defensive end. So Skip Bayless is right when he says he is not a super in front of the star. Now here's where Skip Bayless has an issue, and here's where we've seen that now he's become a low-key LBJ Riders media, and He Knows the Sport has to laugh when people call He Knows the Sport a Skip Bayless Jr. I'm not, because I don't compromise. Let me say it again. I'm not, because I don't compromise, and He Knows the Sport will never compromise. Skip Bayless has become a covert LBJ Riders media because he talks about LeBron James in the sense now of saying that LeBron is the best player in basketball. So you see, in this video, we validate Skip Bayless, but then we bring his rabbit ass down and invalidate him at the same time. Let me say it again. We validate Skip Bayless, but then we bring his rabbit ass down and we invalidate his ass at the same time. Because the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, and the cutthroat two-teller fashion tells us that how on one end can you talk two sideways out of your ass and give us the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, and the cutthroat two-teller fashion that's associated with Damian Lillard and saying that he's not a superstar, which you are right about that. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you justify it by saying LeBron is the best in basketball. Stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere and what? You know the figure's wagging. Higgity fucking hush, Skip Bayless. LeBron James is not the best basketball player. The best basketball player in basketball is not even in the game right now. Let me say it again. The best basketball player that you know to be true, because you've even mentioned it before, so I don't know why you waffling right now. Let me say it again. You even mentioned it before, so I don't even know why you waffling right now, is Kevin freaking Durant. This is a guy that made the legacy officially done, the cachet officially over. He regressed LeBron into an abysmal 33.3% NBA Finals average and performance. Let me say it again. He regressed LeBron into an abysmal 33.3% NBA Finals average and performance. That's the cold-hearted, that's the unadulterated, and that's the cutthroat two-teller fashion. So on one end, we build up Skip Bayless. On the other end, we bring his rabbit ass back down. Because you can't on one end tell us the truth about Damian Lillard and him not being a super in front of the star, and then you turn around and disqualify yourself or disqualify yourself and say LeBron James is the best player in basketball. Once again, Skip Bayless, higgity fucking hush. I told you guys this video was going to be a unique video of bringing somebody else up and bringing their ass down. This is the He Knows the Sport roller coaster. Let me say it again. Bringing somebody up and bringing their freaking ass down. Skip Bayless has been covertly bought and paid for, because the rubbish that comes out of his mouth about LeBron James, it makes absolutely no sense. Now, when He Knows the Sport made the video yesterday, I know it pissed off even the He Knows the Sport faithfuls about Damian Lillard and Portland Trailblazers. I was getting you guys to see something, because remember, you guys love me because of the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, and cutthroat two-teller fashion. You love me because of my true alpha energy. You love me because I'm not always going to be here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And I damn sure won't tell you what you want to hear. I'm always going to tell you what you need to hear. Damian Lillard is not what you guys think that he is. I've dissected this guy. Yes, Kobe Bryant said he's a bad boy, but Kobe Bryant talked about it from an offensive standpoint. See, people don't even understand the language that these true alphas talk. I understand it because I'm a true alpha myself. Only true alphas understand true alpha language. Let me say it again. Only true alphas understand true alpha language. When Kobe was saying that Damian Lillard was a bad boy, understand the context of what he was talking about. Never said anything about his defense. He talked about his ability to score the basketball, his penchant to score. Nobody's discrediting that. Damian Lillard can score with the best of them. He Knows the Sport will denote that. That's like Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony's even a higher breed than Damian Lillard. When Carmelo was in his prime, he was scoring like nobody's business. He was a bull on the offensive end. But what is the issue with these two guys? Their issue is the defensive side of the equation. They are allergic on the defensive end. They are pedestrians on the defensive end. They lack defensive responsibility. So He Knows the Sport can't call himself the ultimate truth teller if I can't render this truth. And if you guys are not willing to accept the truth, then you need to basically relinquish your truth teller tags. Let me say it again. You need to relinquish your truth teller tags if you're not willing to hear the truth. Because truth tellers and an ultimate truth teller variation like me always want to hear the truth along with rendering it. You can't just render truth and don't want to hear it. That means that you're not a truth person. You're what we call half-truth, which is thereby a lie. Let me say it again. You're what we call half-truth, which is thereby a lie. And what we're seeing is that there are people out here in these basketball streets that are half-truths. They're giving the similitude that they're truthful with the way that they deliver the information to you. They're giving you the similitude that they're being honest and basically truthful in how they go about it, and giving you a cold-hearted variation, an unadulterated variation, and a cutthroat truth-telling fashion variation. But then when you start peeling the layers of the onion of the situation, you start realizing there's half-truths associated. They're selective on what truth they want to fall with, and they are basically biased to the lie that they get behind. Let me say it again. They're selective with the truth that they want to run with, but then they are biased with the lies that they want to run behind. You can't have your cake and want to eat it too. The truth-telling fashion doesn't work that way. This is why the truth is a two-edged sword, piercing the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, even piercing through the joint and marrows. Because the truth does not do this. It doesn't bulldoze. It doesn't steamroll. It goes right through you. Let me say it again. The truth doesn't do this. It doesn't bulldoze. It doesn't steamroll. It goes right through you. That's what the truth is all about. And the reason why it goes right through you is because it has to reveal the truth in the midst of the lies. Let me say it again. It has to reveal the truth in the midst of the lies. Here's the truth. Damian Lillard is a star. He's not a superstar. And his exploits on scoring, I'm not impressed. You want me to be impressed, Damian Lillard? Let's see what Portland can do on the defensive side of the ball. Let me see a 10-game stretch where Portland Trailblazers from this point on, leading into the NBA Finals, where they locking team down. They basically making teams not score the way that they're supposed to score. And Damian Lillard is the one that's leading that. He's the one unctioning it. He's the orchestrator behind that. Now, if he shows me that, along with his scoring prowess, then I'll put respect on his name, and then I can call him a superstar. But until then, he is a freaking star. That's his truest, and that's his most proper levels. So Skip Bayless is 50-50 here. And you already know how we deal with 50-50 here on this platform. When someone gives you 50% of themselves, they give you 50% of themselves. Let me say it again. When someone is 50-50, they give you 50% of themselves. And we know what 50-50 and 50% of yourself is. It's a half-truth. And when it's all said and done, a half-truth is a what? A lie. I keep the foot on the what? On the next. I keep the foot on the what? On the next. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.